Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have kind of a sad video for you guys. Well, it's just not so upbeat. For around about 8 years, I've tried to use more natural products in everyday life, whether it be cleaning, makeup, body care, everything. But I also love eyeshadow, and it's never really been a concern of mine when I put things on my eyes. I don't really worry about how natural it is, so I do tend to buy cheaper palettes just because, hello, you can get a lot for your money. And that's just how I've been the past few years. I've recently become more aware of talc used in makeup. Recently, there was a study that came out. It was about a beauty glazed palette called the Gorgeous Me. And it tested positive for asbestos in like a lot of the shades, and it was a major amount of asbestos. I was sent a palette by a different company, and I believe it was just a promoter of the company. It is exactly the same components, the same colors, just has a different name on it. And I immediately threw it away because I just assume that they're both made in the same factory, and I mean, how could they not? They look exactly the same. I kind of did a little bit more research into the fact that asbestos can be found in eyeshadows, and the reason why asbestos is sometimes found in eyeshadows is because when they mine the talc, asbestos is another naturally occurring mineral, and it can be found very close to the talc. And then when they mine the talc, the asbestos can come with it. And if it's not being tested, then you can have asbestos in your talc. Asbestos is really a problem, especially if it is distributed into the air. I know that if you have asbestos in an old building, it's best to just leave it alone, or else you have to get rid of it in a really specific way, and it has to be like a hazmat situation. But as long as it is contained and it's not tampered with or messed with in any way that it would distribute throughout the air, then it is fine. But in a powder-based product that you are putting a brush into and the particles of it are being strewn throughout the air, you are definitely going to inhale this. And if you're inhaling asbestos daily while you put on your makeup, that is not good. With more research, I realized that this is not the first time that asbestos has been found in eyeshadow. It was actually found a few years ago in a couple of eyeshadow palettes. They were possibly face palettes too, but they were manufactured in China for the company called Claire's. That is a mainly jewelry store, but they do sell makeup products and just girly things. And then I found another company that tested positive for asbestos, and that is City Color Cosmetics. A couple of their blushes and one eyeshadow palette tested positive. So that just got me thinking, are all of the eyeshadow palettes getting tested, or is it just a few here and there? It's obvious to me that there is a problem with asbestos in talc that comes from China. My mind isn't totally made up about whether or not I should purchase makeup that's made in the United States that contains talc, but for right now, I'm getting rid of everything in my collection from China that contains talc. I'm gonna go over all of the palettes that I'm decluttering. This is really hard for me because, like I said, I love eyeshadow, and I am getting rid of half of my eyeshadows. These 4 palettes are from C Color Cosmetics, not to be confused with City Color, but all of their makeup is made in the PRC, which is People's Republic of China. All of it also does contain talc as the first ingredient. The first palette is this Juicy palette, and it's a super warm palette. I really never use this very often. Next is the Frost palette, and there that one is. Then we have a Too Faced dupe, and this is the Fairy Tale palette. And there that one is. I really love this yellow over here. And then this is the really sad one. This is the Savannah palette, and this one's just an all matte palette. This is a brand that's not really around anymore that I know of. It is Bad Habit, and this is the Athena palette. This palette's really old actually, so it's probably expired anyways, but it still works really well, and I loved this palette so much. You could create so many like really pretty sunset looks with it, but that one is going to be leaving my collection. I have two palettes from You Can Be, and this is really sad to me because this one was actually my first ever PR that I ever got, and it was so exciting to me, and I might be actually keeping these for a little bit just to see, because I know there are tests being done on certain You Can Be palettes, so I really would like to see what those say before I actually throw these in the trash. But this is the one I got for PR. It is so beautiful. It's a Lime Crime dupe. And then their Aromas palette. This is a Huda dupe. I love these colors too. Oh, I have one more C Color Cosmetics palette. It was underneath all of these. This one I actually won in a giveaway on Instagram. It was super weird that they did this, but it was like, anyone who emails us in the next so many hours will get a free palette of their choice. So out of the ones that I could choose, this is the one I chose. It was just a super colorful palette. I didn't have some of these shades in my collection, so that is why I chose that. These are like one of the first things I purchased when I started getting into makeup, and it is these Coastal Scents Hot Pots. They are their single eyeshadows, and yeah, unfortunately all of these are gonna get thrown away. They're really old, so it's not that big of a deal to me, but I did like these a lot. I also took a look at my other powder products in my collection, and I'm really sad about this, but Tarte's blushes, I'm not sure about all of their eyeshadows. Their blushes are made in China, at least this one was. This is the Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush in Shimma and Shake. And these are made in China and do contain talc. So I will be getting rid of this. It's hard for me to understand why a company that is based in the USA has their stuff made in China. I know it's cheaper, but if you're a well-known company such as Tarte, you would just think that they would want their makeup made in the USA. I mean, you associate Tarte with being a more natural brand, and I don't know if all of their stuff is made in China, but at least that these blushes are, and I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. That's really sad. Bare Minerals doesn't even have talc in their products, which is amazing, and from what I can tell, everything that I have is made in Italy. Pacifica is also another brand that does not contain talc, so I'll be keeping everything that I have from Pacifica. ColourPop does use talc in their products, but they are all made in the USA, so for now I trust ColourPop, and I'm keeping the palettes that I own from them, and I actually just ordered 3 new palettes. As far as I know, from the 3 Too Faced eyeshadow palettes I have, they are all made in the USA, so I'll be keeping all of these, thank God. This eyeshadow palette I have from Becca is made in Italy, so I'll be keeping this. The last palette I have is a bunch of single eyeshadows, and they're all either made in the USA or talc free. This one by Makeup Geek in the middle. Makeup Geek is talc free for all of their powder products. This is from the All Natural Face, and they are talc free This is from Ulta Beauty and it's made in the USA. And then the rest of all of these are from ColourPop, made in the USA. That is all for now. I know this might seem really drastic to some people, but this is just how I feel right now. This is a developing situation. So there's like very recent studies on this, and they're still in the process of regulating this more and making sure that the talc that comes through into the US is not contaminated with asbestos. Let me know what you guys think of this. Have you heard anything about this? Am I the first one telling you? Hopefully not, but would you go this far as to getting rid of things in your collection not made in the USA, or do you just not really care? I'm just trying to bring this more to light. I don't want to scare anyone, but it is just my opinion that and my preference now that I'm just not going to buy any makeup that is made in China and has talc in it. If you like this video and you want to see more updates on it, just make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!